Welcome to the latest Trainers Talk. My name is Donavan, and oftentimes on my channel and things that I kind of bring up and on my podcast is things that we do in the wellness industry, things we do in fitness, things we do with building communities within our businesses, and this latest one, we're going to talk about kind of reputation and customer service. I don't claim to have the business that has the best customer service. We definitely try. It's very high on our list. Our reputation is very important to us and what we do at business. But one of the things that is, for those who don't know, I mean, I live here in California, in the Napa Valley area, Sonoma County area, and um, most of my family and my wife's family is on the East Coast. So most of my family is in Atlanta area, and most of my wife's family and my brother are in the kind of DC area. So me and my wife have lived out here since 2007, practically with no family, close family at all within thousands of miles of us. So it provides, probably one of the reasons we're very logistically strong is we have four kids who have four different schedules, while managing over 50 instructors with 12 properties that we help with. So there's a lot of things in the air, a lot of moving parts. And to help us out, one of the claims we made um, to my parents was that we really needed help um, during this time of year, in that July, early August time of year, where our kids are out of school. They have some camps, but things are going on for us where July for us is our busiest month. Most people will think, it's fitness is going to be January. But for us, because of the hotel side of it, our challenge that we do, that is a beast, that starts on July 5th and it ran to August 3rd. Um, we just got back from Yosemite, which is a trip we do. We try to do every year if we can. It's a beautiful place. So our parents, my mom comes out and she'll stay with us for almost a month, at least 3.5 weeks. My dad would come and stay for half of that. And um and my parents, they book the travel, they come out, they stay with us at our house, and they do a great job of getting that grandparent time with our kids, which they enjoy, and spend some time with them. And my mom was nice enough; she was able to be here long enough where she could go with us to Yosemite, and we had a great time, awesome hikes. And there's kind of two or three parts to the story. One part is my dad booked um, Frontier on the way out. Now he normally books Delta and United. Delta most of the time because Delta's hub is in Atlanta and they're flying from Atlanta. And the the thing that kind of caught his eye was that the ticket was going to be $100 to $150 more per ticket for them to fly out, um, versus what Frontier was advertising. So he said, I'll give it a shot. I'll try Frontier. He's never really flown on. They've never flown on that airline. I haven't heard great things about that airline, but it's like, they're nice enough to come out here. I'm not gonna make a super complaint. Well, my dad kind of knew right away that things weren't going to be the same as Delta or United, and we all know that airline travel as a customer service industry is already doesn't have the highest reputation. And he was already experiencing where they were changing times of the original time that he booked, and they were moving flights around, and it was becoming a little bit of a nuisance. And he also, so what he had decided to do, he switched his flight when he was flying back, because he was flying back with my son, who was going to space camp, and they changed to either United or Delta flying back, and that was fine. And my son, oh, he was United, and then he flies back out, and everything worked out well. But my mom's flight going back um, about a week ago uh, was changed, was still at Frontier. And I suggested that we change the flight to a different airline. But my dad was like, we're not going to get a refund and blah, blah, blah. So we kept it. So on the day of my mom's flight, she's flying out on a red eye, 10:45. She gets to, we leave from Yosemite. We drove 2 cars so I could drop her off. Jackie heads back home with the kids. I get some awesome time with my mom. We go to a late lunch, and I make her way, and I drop her off at SFO, but kind of earlier than I normally would love to, but just circumstances, it just worked out the way. My mom's like, "That's totally fine. I can read my book, have some quiet time, and I'll be able to sit, and then I'll get on the flight." So she gets to the air to SFO. She says she's a little bit early. They say can't quite check in your bag. And so she was totally fine with that. She sits down and waits about 30 minutes when she could check in her bag. She comes up to try to check in her bag, and the lady says, "Where's your ticket?" She's like, "Well, I don't have a boarding ticket." Um, you know, well, you're supposed to do this pre-boarding thing, and you have to have it, and you can't get your ticket here. We can't print it off. If we print it off, it's going to be like over $30 or something crazy. My mom's like, "So to print off my ticket, you got," and she's like, "No, that's not happening." So my mom was already, she was already upset with the previous stuff that my dad went through, and now going up to the response of printing out a ticket, which should be a standard thing, is also received with attitude from the agent of something a customer should do that is not customer service. So she gets the ticket, she gets through security, they delay the flight. Delay the flight over an hour. Now the flight is leaving, according to them, around 12:45, 12:30. Of course, I'm pissed because I live about an hour and 15 minutes away. I'm back at home by the time I find out that the flight's delayed. My mom's now at the airport, and she's frustrated because the flight's delayed. An hour later, they cancel the flight. And now, of course, my mom, and I would say this is like the most vulnerable piece. I'm more upset myself that at this time I didn't probably handle. I should have put her on a different airline, and I was kind of pissed at myself for not just taking control of the situation. But um, earlier, before we got to this day, so she finds out the flight's canceled. There is no agent at the gate where the flight's supposed to take off at. Can't find them anywhere. They sent them home. So nobody to help after a flight's just been canceled, of a promise of the flight, no explanation. She has to walk out of security, go to the front desk where you check bags to try to get explanation and see if she can get her check bag back, and figure out what is her next steps. So at the same time, I'm talking to my mom on this, and I said, "Mom, I can book you on another flight with United, and it leaves in like an hour and 20 minutes." But she said, "Well, let me check about the bag thing." So she calls me back, and she says, "Okay, there's only one person up there." I finally get to talk to her, and she says, it's at this time, it's like 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. She says, "Oh, your bag won't be available until midnight." And, well, what if I'm not there at midnight? She's like, and the lady says, "You don't want to not be there. You need to be there if you want to have your bag." Almost threatening like they're going to take the bag and never give it back if she's not there at midnight, which really took my mom to another level of anger, disgust, and just very, very pissed off. at this point of like the level of lack of customer service, lack of respect for the inconvenience of a mistake that the airline has made, and the inconvenience that is 9 p.m. and these people are already exhausted. They're already tired. They're just trying to get to their destination. And you have to wait 3 hours to get a bag. That's something that should take 30 minutes at the most. So what ends up happening is I said, Mom, let's just do this. Mom had medication. She had other things. She had some gifts that she was looking to bring home that was in that bag. So it was important to her. And it's your stuff. I mean, like she comes out here for a month, so she has a decent sized bag and decent amount of clothes that she brings out. So I say to her, let's just get you on this United flight, which I do. I upgrade her, and I said, I will go down and go pick up your bag. Now, understand that it's midnight is when I can pick up the bag. I just drove from Yosemite, which is I've already done about 5 to 5.5, 6 hours of driving. And it's an hour and 15 minutes or 20 minutes away, down and then back. And I can't pick it up till midnight. So I drive down, was able to get her bag, drive back, don't get home till like 1:30. And the thing all equated to the idea of saving about between two tickets, $200 to $250 total. But when you equate it out, we paid way so more than that. We paid in anger. We actually paid in money because you on Frontier, you can only, they don't even give you drinks. It's not even included. So like, and I'm talking about anything more than water is a cost on that airline. Everything is a cost and you pay for it. And so it I would say mark this. I will be surprised if Frontier in 5 years is still in the business. Um, and if it is, is serving a market, but I feel like Southwest and some of the other ones who have some brand loyalty of people who really like their airlines, I just don't understand it. And that's why I think, the funny thing was my dad said that they got the refund for the flight, and Frontier sent them $100 off on your next flight. And my dad said that is such a joke because of the experience. I will never fly them again. And if people get to a point where they don't even feel like you're trying, I think there's customer service. There's people who execute it well, beautifully. It doesn't even look like it's hard, but it's always hard in the background to make really great customer service. The people who really do it super well, they people understand. And then when they make a mistake and they recover with some genuine response, and they're quick and people see that they're trying, and then you give them that offer, they are 80% of the time going to take you up on that offer and just say, they had a mistake. It was a bad day, bad situation. And it didn't turn out perfectly, but they responded um, in a very genuine way. And you'll always get some customers that are way too much. But I think genuinely most people understand, especially through COVID, they understand how hard it is to work in the face of people. They respect it, and they respect attention to, putting yourself in other person's shoes. So, but if you do something so bad where it doesn't even feel like you care, you're going to go nowhere. Your reputation is going to affect you, and you're going to lose a customer. And I think there's oftentimes, there's not every customer is meant for your business. But the thing you don't want to have is that the reputation of your business is not for any customer. And I think that is the difference. When we charge, personal training is not for every customer because not every customer can afford it, but it's it's one of those things that is a luxury, like a very nice car, that you want to aspire to have the opportunity to be a part of that service or part of that company or a part of that brand. And that is the reputation you want versus the reputation of not trying and not having a customer that ever wants to come back. And it just, this whole experience just equated, you get what you pay for, is worth being with people that you can talk to. No matter what AI stuff is coming, we will use those tools to enhance our service, but you can't replace that human connection of actual genuine service. And I will use this analogy in any future talks I have with trainers and things like this, where your price can be your price, but if your service and your reputation does not match that price, it doesn't matter. You will lose a customer forever, and if you lose your reputation, it's a hard thing to get back. So just give it a try. You'd be surprised how many people you can turn around if you genuinely make a mistake and you try. You'll be surprised what happens. You often can get a more loyal customer because they understand that you care, and if you care, the dollars and the profitability will come with it.